welcome back to the Crypto Kids podcast, a series of pods with the youngest stars in crypto. This is probably the most special episode of this series. I've got Miguel, a big boy dev, and Ana, an artist, and I like to call them the crypto couple.
Nice.
I love the name.
So, to kick us off, guys, just introduce yourselves, tell us a little bit about your respective background before crypto, and then how you got into crypto.
Okay, so I'm sure you'll already figure out that I'm here thanks to him. He's the one who introduced me to crypto. So my name's Ana. An 18-year-old artist, and I'm starting to learn code in Rust within many other projects that I will soon tell you about. So yeah, I just dropped out of college recently. Just for this year, it's like a little experiment because, here in Spain, you can't change careers, so you have to continue on the same path. And I didn't exactly like the career I chose, so until September, I'm focusing my time on crypto. Yeah.
And if it goes very well, we'll hopefully have her here forever.
Yeah, he doesn't want me to go back to uni. Well, and that's it about me, I think.
Yeah, and I'm Miguel, 19-year-old PowerPoint developer, just like going around and working on weird things. That's pretty much it. Doing a little bit of everything.
And Miguel, I'm really curious to hear about how it all started. Like, if you remember the early beginnings or like your first day in crypto, can you tell us about that? Like, I know you never told me how you first got into crypto in the first place.
Yeah, so I got into crypto like almost a year ago, actually. When the first NFT boom started, like February last year, a few friends started like they decided they were going to do some like 3D cabbages and sell them as NFTs, and I ended up getting recruited to help with the whole 3D cabbage stuff.
Yeah, the
And
cabbage
that
part.
was like my gateway into crypto because there were like some really, really smart people in that group. There was Paris, who actually was the person that got me into the group. There was Alex Masmerch, all these people. And so, yeah, that actually served me to look deeper into the space and realize that it was not just like speculation of coins going up and down, which is kind of like the view that you have on the media of what this whole space is. And discovered my contract, discovered all of that, and just like fell in love with the space, and I've been trapped
Yeah.
here ever since.
And that's when he explained it all to me, and we made a video about it like last year, and he just published it a few while ago. So if you're interested in like an hour-long video explaining all the crypto universe for non-technical people like me, it's very easy to understand. Yeah.
Yeah, I had her sit through like 4 hours of me talking about crypto.
You guys, you guys should definitely start a show of your own. Would be like the first Web3 love story show. And it'd probably get, worst thing is, it'd probably get more views than my own show.
Nice. We'll keep it in mind if we run out of other ideas.
So Miguel, you were already coding, you were a Web2 dev. What was it that clicked in your mind and you were like, I want to become a Web3 dev?
Yeah, so I had been coding for a while. I've been like always interested in computers, and so I tried to get into coding a few times, went way over my head, and then when I was like, I don't know, 10 or something, I ended up discovering that like instead of just like going through university level books, I could just like learn this thing called HTML, which was like really simple and you could see things straight away. And then through that, I started like learning web development and did all these things. And yeah, been like coding for a while, mostly as a hobby. It wasn't like my full-time job until after getting into crypto, but it was definitely like most time spent on anything ever.
What about you, Anna? Was it through crypto that you discovered your passion for art, or were you already an artist? I think maybe the listeners would be interested in knowing, like, do I have to be a traditional art artist before I become an NFT artist, or not necessarily?
No, I've been drawing since I was little, but I started taking it seriously like when I was 13 or so, and then I started doing digital art and getting on social media and Instagram and stuff, but now I'm focusing more on the Twitter space. And when I discovered NFTs, I started to work more on it. I've created my profile in Showtime, and Yeah, and now I just made my first NFT a few days ago for my friend DC Builder. Yeah, and he's doing an article on all the crypto universe, explaining it, and yeah, and when it's dropped, we'll drop my NFT with it.
Yeah, she made a cover art for it.
Yeah.
I feel like I didn't need that much convincing to go all in on crypto. Like I really like interesting problems. I really enjoy like the whole having like a puzzle and having to work to solve it and do like weird things. And the whole smart contract and like Solidity Land and all these things is pretty much like interesting problem after interesting problem. I do have like some role models in the space, especially like really smart developers. Like there's the whole, I mean, the whole paradigm research team with like Georgios and all these people who are like incredibly smart, and also the Rari Capital team, which are like teenagers, which are way smarter than I will ever be. So those are, I guess, like my role models are the people that I looked for. Also for like learning resources and stuff. You would be surprised how much can you learn just like by turning two notifications on a few
Yeah,
people
that's true.
and just like reading everything they talk about.
Yeah, I agree that Twitter is like sort of crypto heaven, and I often wonder, is it the same thing for all the the top other three big tech breakthroughs like AI, Internet of Things, genomics, or is it just specific to crypto? I think that's where I get most of my info. That's where I learned the most, and that's where I met you and a bunch of other people. So you, who are the people you guys hang out with the most? Or chat with the most? Are they like Discord anons, Twitter anons? Who are they?
I mean, I know that the right people are like really young. The thing about Twitter is like unless people tell you their age, you don't really know, especially with like all the NFT avatars and stuff. So you don't know who you're talking to. I would assume it's like people from 20 to 30 because that seems to be like the crypto demographic right now. But who knows? I don't think that matters at all for learning. It matters for like representation and all the things, but like you can learn from anyone.
If we take a step back and we look at this whole crypto revolution that's happening, I think that a lot of people just see these tokens on CoinMarketCap as going up and down, and then NFTs as a pure investment question, whereas you have much deeper ramifications and you have stuff happening on all fronts. And so that's why it's a revolution. Guys, tell me more about your macro thesis on what's happening, or more specifically, like what's your view on this whole crypto revolution, and what is it that you like, most about crypto, especially as dropouts?
So at first, I didn't quite understand the crypto whole point. I also thought it was just like an investment thing, like stocks, and that's it. But then I started to understand that it was more about democracy, to put it that in some way, like that everyone has. It's not all centralized and controlled by companies and government, but everyone has their own saying, and that's the thing I enjoy the most. And we're starting with economics, but I think the crypto, all the blockchain system could be used in many other ways in the social, well, in the world in general. And I think that's really exciting, and many people should learn more about how it works.
Yeah, I feel like we're seeing it a lot with like this new Web3 revolution that has happened like over the last part of the last year, where we no longer, I guess, like working in crypto, which is like this general thing that usually involves money. It's just like kind of trying to like rebuild the web or build new things for the web with the ideas that we had originally when we created the web to be like a resource for everyone to talk as something of freedom, and then that we kind of like lost along the way with this whole Facebook, Twitter, monopolies, all these companies that just aggregate data and become like really hard to escape from in any way or other. And like these blockchain technologies kind of allow us to build a new web where like all the data is owned by their users. It's configurable, everything is interoperable, just like what originally was supposed to be the web. And
Yeah.
it gives us a chance to like build that in a way that we could without relying on like external systems or trust agents or all those things.
Okay, so if we zoom in a little bit, what are some of the topics within crypto or like overarching themes that you're looking at the moment and that you're most excited about within crypto?
Yeah, so for me, I've been looking really into the whole game dev space recently, just because like it's something that personally interests me. I've always wanted to like get into making games, and because I feel like there's like so much that can be added into that. Like all the crypto games seem to be kind of like either we just made like a turn-based RPG game because that's kind of like what fits the paradigm and that's it, or we just like made a game that is not crypto at all and we added like tokens to it, or also like we made a casino and we called it a game. Like those seem to be like the three types of game right now, outside of a few exceptions, and I feel like people are kind of forgetting that games need to be fun.
Yeah.
And so I feel like there's like a lot of space. I've been playing around with like adding like connect for on the blockchain and just like I saw a guy that made like chess on the blockchain and made like these systems that are like really have really defined rules and you can make them interoperable so then DAOs can play with each other. You can use them for like governance, whatever. Like you can do all kinds of crazy stuff with them. And so I feel like this category of on-chain games, maybe it's not something that will be mainstream ever, but for me it's like a really interesting application of technology.
Yeah.
And then, other than that, just like the idea of NFTs, which people understand as digital art right now, but I feel like this year we're going to be seeing a lot of more like NFTs are just data with an owner, and that data can be a tweet or can be pretty much anything. And I feel like we still haven't really explored that area as much as we should, and we are going to see a lot of more of that coming up soon.
Yeah. So what excites me the most is, yeah, principally NFTs and the fact that we can make an NFT out of almost anything. So right now I'm working on notes on Rust. So I'm covering the whole Rust book. And we were just talking about how cool it would be to make it an NFT, the PDF of the whole book, for example. And that's what excites me the most, like the fact that now being an artist is more valuable than earlier thanks to NFTs. And yeah, basically that.
Yeah, you can now like actually have digital art that is like unique in a way and not like infinitely copyable, like that has a recognition to you as the artist
Exactly, as the
embedded in the
author,
art
yeah.
and all of those things.
Yeah, I think the particularity of our generation, so who's like crypto native, is that it's very likely that in a not so distant future, we're all going to be joining DAOs rather than traditional organizations, and it's already happening. As people who have spent some time in DAOs, do you think they will eventually come to replace, all sorts of human organizations? And do you think that they're relevant to the point that we will see government DAOs one day?
I am, but I feel like for different reasons. I feel like DAOs are not like the end structure. Like DAOs are how we. If you think about it, like a DAO is just like a company that has been stripped down to like its roots, like the only things that are necessary for it to like be something. And I feel like that is not something that can scale that much. Like as we onboard more and more millions of people into crypto, I feel like some structures that we have right now for like voting and stuff will maybe start to break down a little bit, but I do feel like those are still very important because they allow us to experiment and understand like, okay, so for this company model that we have been like blindly copying for years now, like what can we get rid of and what is absolutely necessary and what can we add? Like it invites for more experimentation and for faster iteration, and so that can allow us to make some structural groups and organizations that maybe are not a DAO per se. Maybe they have like more centralization or more things on top, but they allow us to, we can reach those through playing with DAOs, seeing what works, what doesn't, iterating really, really fast. Anyone can start one. Yeah, it's for me, it's more of like a discovery mechanism. It's like a way to do natural selection of companies in a way.
I think the listeners may be interested, in knowing what's the process to get on board, like from the moment you enter their Discord to actually getting on board. Like, what's the process like?
Well, it can be as simple as tweeting about like I want to get into this DAO and start following them and talk about it and get into it. For other DAOs, it's more difficult. You have to have an NFT or you know, have certain
Prerequisites.
qualities, that they want. But I think it's, you know, what's cool about this space is that everyone's so supportive with each other. So you can just say, I really like this DAO, I would love to become a part of it, and there probably will be someone who helps you out and says, okay, you can talk to this person, or you can do this and that. And that's what I really like about the space.
Yeah, I would add that it kind of depends on the DAO. Like everyone, like we said, like DAOs are really great because like they are really simple, and so that is great for experimentation, and it also makes it so that everyone kind of like figures out their own thing. Most have like a Discord that you can join, and then maybe there's like some tasks that you can help with, or you have to like just like be active in the community.
Yeah.
So yeah, it kind of different per thing that you want to join, and you should probably just like there's probably like a website or a pinned message in Discord, something that
Get
if you want to
informed.
join a DAO, you can figure out what there is to do and how you can help. More DAOs should actually do this. I found that some just like aren't super clear. Like they are really clear on what they are doing, but they are not as clear on like how anyone can help with that. Which sometimes can also be by design. For example, in like the whole constitution thing, we had like 30 something people working on it like really hard, and it got to a point where like if we added more people to the mix while we were working at it, it just like make things take longer. So we had to like say, okay, you can help by like sharing it around and stuff, like leave the whole investigating and like researching and legal stuff to like the people that are working on it. So I feel like sometimes it's by design and you can just like help by sharing it around or participating in the community, but like most of the times there's probably like some post somewhere that says like, oh, we need help with like, I don't know, even if it's like translating some articles or whatever, you can always help doing stuff even if you're not technical or new to crypto.
Miguel, I know that you're one of the core contributors to Constitution DAO. Can you tell us a little bit more about that and how it all started? Because I think that Constitution DAO is super significant, and you know, in 5-10 years from now, it's going to be looked back as a very culturally, significant milestone in the space. So can you tell us a bit more about that?
Yeah, so this was actually starting like the chat that I mentioned, the gas station chat. We saw an article going around saying like, oh, the Constitution is going up for sale, like a copy of the Constitution is going up for sale on Sotheby's in like 7 days. And we started like just like memeing around about aping into the Constitution and just like buying the Constitution. And then we ended up getting into a Zoom call and we said like, hey, maybe we should actually do this. And we put plans into 7 days before the auction. We put plans into motion to see how we could try to get this working. We ended up raising 42 million in like 4 days and losing by $1 million. And then we just like refunded everyone and dissolved the DAO. But it was a really great experiment on like just like collective ownership, like the possibilities of just like a few people getting together in an organized statement and how like crypto encourages this. If you think all of this like crypto is just consensus mechanisms, and these were like consensus mechanisms to the test of like organizing a really big group of people to do something that we all wanted to do. And yeah, it seemed to get a lot of publicity for the space, which was also really great, and we had a lot of fun even though we didn't sleep that much during that week.
It's true that I think in crypto, like you can just tweet about a project, and by the end of the day, you'd all be on a Discord call discussing it. Crypto is a fast-paced industry. It's also collaborative. What's the crypto culture in your own words?
So yeah, I would say it's like the internet meme culture, but yeah, full of people of all ages, and yes, you know, people creating cool stuff and having fun around, but also learning, creating communities, and really you get to know a lot of cool people, communicate with each other, and learn a lot and make a lot of stuff. So I really love it. I will define it as, innovative and creative and very, brave and original. I mean, I didn't know about it, and when I discovered it, I was just like, it was mind-blowing to me.
Yeah, I would add that, like she said, it's mostly just like internet culture, like the standard internet culture, but like to the power of 1,000. Except from like a few people, like the green turtle person. I feel like everyone is just like willing to shitpost all the time and just like make memes.
Have fun.
Have fun, yeah. Mostly have fun. And also, everyone is like really, really kind and supportive. Like you can pretty much ask anyone a question, and they will probably just like take the time to reply to you and explain, even if it's just like something incredibly simple. And it's like really someone really smart. I sometimes I like tweet for help with like solid stuff that I'm doing, and Georgios from the city of Paradigm ends up like replying and giving me like a solution for what I'm doing. And like, I don't think in any other space you can like get the leaders of the space to just like reply to random tweets asking for help.
Yeah.
And also like, yeah, you can make friends with all these people.
What are some of your hobbies or passions? Like, what do you do when you need to disconnect completely from the crypto markets?
I honestly personally don't follow the crypto markets that much. Like the crypto that I hold is just like there, and I don't plan on touching it whatever the market does. So it doesn't really. I don't even have like my phone to configure to like show me the prices of stuff. I just like price everything on ETH. So I, aside from like everyone just like randomly bear posting on Twitter, I don't really end up noticing about it. So, but I do for like relaxing and stuff. It's just mostly just like, I mean, coding for me because it's like I really enjoy it. And also listening to music, hanging out with friends or with Anna, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, same. I also don't have it activated. I think it's better for your mental health not to be concentrated all the time on how the prices are going. Yeah, for me, I play piano and I really enjoy singing, making music, and yeah, also drawing. But yeah, it's also now it's kind of my job, so I'm
You still
complimented.
have fun with it.
Yeah, and I complement both things. So yeah, that's what we do. We hang out and all that things.
So you both are dropouts, certified dropouts. Can you tell us more about your journey? You know, with you must be very critical of the of university and education in general. We don't mean to convert more students, but I think I'm really curious to know more about the thought process behind your journey on like dropping out. So yeah, tell us a bit more about that.
Want to go first?
Okay, sure. So, well, I don't know about in any other countries, but I think it's pretty similar. Here in Spain, it's like everything's stuck. What I didn't like is that I really enjoy maths and science, but I also enjoy arts. And they forced me to choose, like, no, you can only study one of those things, you know, you can't mix them together. So, what I did was concentrate on the scientific math path while also learning by myself more about art and drawing and digital art and social media and all that things. I think it's a little bit antiquated and like we should definitely change the way the educational system is structured, and also the qualifications. It should be measured in some other way so that it doesn't, you know, it should encourage people to learn and like it and not just force them to study many different things they don't really like. So yeah, I started in university. I started my first year in industrial engineering, and I really didn't like it that much. I only enjoyed the classes that were, you know, algebra, calculus, but I didn't really enjoy the more mechanical and physics part. So I think I just, you know, the thing here is that you can't change career during the school year. You have to, you know, if you chose the wrong career, the wrong path, you have to wait till the next year to apply to something else. So I was having a hard time, and Miguel just told me, like, you know, just drop out and invest your time in something that you will think it will be better. And that's what I'm doing right now while I figure what to do next year. So yeah, I think there should be some sort of, you know, something that mixes together a little bit different fields, and it's not like just this compartment, like you choose this and you have to concentrate on this.
Yeah, we definitely need more flexibility, both in like the college and even like before. like they're having people talking forever. I think like some systems in like Finland do this and stuff, but like about we should really figure out like what every kid enjoys particularly, and just like use that to teach them everything else. Like maybe they enjoy, I don't know, Fortnite, and we can use them to like teach them physics through talking about like how video games are made.
Yeah.
Or maybe they really like music, and so you can teach them math through like the whole music, or like physics, the whole sound thing through songs or something. And I feel like that is like long overdue, and we'll probably not get it for a big while because like bureaucracy, and it's really hard to change all these systems. But that's like something that I really like about just like self-learning, which is I can just like learn whatever I want in the ways that I want it. I feel like I ended up dropping out because I just like realized it's much easier and much more productive for me to learn on my own and just
Yeah.
like building things than it is to like sit in class and watch someone learn. Because like that exists already. That is called YouTube, and I don't have to like go to pay a lot of money to like go there. So yeah, I feel like we definitely need like more. I don't think it necessarily needs to be like either you go to college or you just like learn things on your own. There's probably like a middle ground where you just like have a program that assists you with learning on your own that probably exists somewhere. I just like haven't found it, and it's too late for me now. But yeah, in my experience, it was just like I discovered that I was much better at learning on my own.
What are some of the current plans or projects that you guys are focusing on at the moment and that you'd like to maybe share with us?
Yeah, so right now the main focus is learning Solidity. I started just like playing around with Solidity on summer, and it turns out it is like harder than I thought because you actually like this is like big boy programming. You can just like write some JavaScript that is horribly unoptimized and completely awful, and just like roll with it. It works. Never look at it again. Actually, things need to be optimized, and you need to like, yeah, all of that computer science stuff that I ended up skipping at the start to like get started with coding. I kind of need part of that now. But I'm mostly focusing on that, playing around with contracts. I mentioned that I made like a Connect 4 thing. I've been like, yeah, just like doing whatever. Also, a really cool project called Lil Web3, which is just like really, really small and over commented and everything so that ideally anyone can understand them. Implementation of like all the main protocols and apps in crypto. Like there's like a little Uniswap, little Gnosis, little ENS, just like small implementations that are both from like learning for me and others for to be able to like read through them ideally. So mostly just like experimentation at this phase. But yeah, we'll figure it out at some point after I get a little better. Then I'll see what I do next.
Where do you see crypto going in 5, 10 years from now? Like, what are some of the trends that we're going to see? What are some current dynamics that you think are going to play out in 5, 10 years from now?
I really hope, it becomes a little bit more mainstream and we started to apply this system on other things apart from the economics. But yeah, I really think that's the future of crypto. Like the whole society working on like more decentralized on this way.
Yeah, I feel like I mean the money part of crypto is great, but we kind of solved that already. Like sure, there's like more innovation coming to DeFi, whatever, but it's just like a 1% optimization, whereas before we were doing like 10% steps every time something was released. And I feel like that is, at least to me, it's like boring. Like we kind of saw that already. We can iterate on it, but like it's there. And I feel like we are going to see a lot more of just like, so we have this technology that we've been using mostly for like money stuff. How does this look applied to like social protocols? Or how does it look applied to all the other types of things that you can build with code? I definitely see, I think we're going mainstream. I feel like, sure, the most mainstream opinion in crypto, I think. But I also feel like we are going to be seeing a lot of apps that just like its users don't know it's on the blockchain, like, or maybe they know, but like they never have to like realize. We don't need to care about like how wallets work. We don't need to explain people, oh, this is like your seed phrase. Don't share with anyone. We find like way better abstractions for all of that, and we never have to. I mean, you can if you want to do the stuff manually, but like all the applications abstract that over, pay gas for the users. They just like click the button, and we get closer and closer to the flow that it is on Web2 today, where you just like click something and it happens. and hopefully we also reduce the number of scams, and in general just like make it a technology that like your grandma could use.
So that was on the magnitude. What about the pace? Where are we on the curve? Are we like sitting on an inflection point, or are we still very far from the inflection point when it comes to going mainstream? So yeah, when are we going mainstream?
I mean, I feel like we are we're in a weird state because like we are becoming mainstream, but kind of for the wrong reasons. Like everyone at this point knows NFTs, and most of people hate them.
Yeah.
Because like, oh yeah, it's like the weird ape that Jimmy Fallon or like whatever celebrity of turn purchased for like an insane amount of money, and that is also somehow burning the rainforest and whatever. And so I feel like we'll get to a point where like it gets like really mainstream. Then hopefully it dips as like people think, oh yeah, it died or we killed it or whatever, and they just like stop paying attention to it for a while, and then we use that period to just like fix everything that's wrong with it, fix the issues that are hopefully going to be improved a lot once like we move to proof of stake in a few months. Fix all the things that people had complaints about, and then just like rebrand it as something that is like not crypto and launch it again, and then it actually really goes mainstream at the level of like everyone using apps that use the blockchain. So I feel like it's more of like a weird U-shape because I mean, the whole NFT thing is going to crash at some point. At least like the whole collective 10K ape profile picture thing. Like I feel like that's everyone agrees that is way overvalued. But yeah, hopefully we recover after that. We have like some time to build and improve everything, and we come back.
When I tell you metaverse, what do you envision? What's the metaverse in your eyes? Like sometimes I just lay in bed and I dream of the metaverse and I see a lot of art. I see art. What do you guys see when I tell you metaverse?
Yeah, I think of a place where you can, you get to be whoever you want to be and do whatever you want to do and build anything you want, share it with the world, and make communities, make friends, build amazing projects, and that everyone knows it, that it also becomes, even for people that are, well, for our elders, even them can enjoy the metaverse and get into it, and that it will be the future, I really think.
Yeah, we have that already. It's called the internet.
Well, yeah, I know.
Yeah, I feel like my hot take on this whole thing is like the metaverse is not a place, it's not a website, it's not even like a thing. It's a when. Similar to how like in the AI space we have like the singularity, which is like the name for the moment when an AI surpasses like human intelligence. I feel like the metaverse is just like the name for the time where like our lives start to become more real online than they are in the real world. And that kind of already started happening with like the pandemic, and everyone gets like switching to calls, and like most of my friends are from Twitter. I'm definitely already living in the metaverse in that way. But yeah, I feel like we're going to like be seeing more of like, I mean, we know already like TikTok has like a big influence on like global culture and like even like politics in some way, and that is just like going to get more and more real in the way of like, yeah, Twitter like 10 years ago was just like a weird website that you could send an SMS to like share stuff with your friends, and now when like people go in Congress in the United States on TV, they show their Twitter username next to their name. So like we're definitely either already here or like really really close to the metaverse. But yeah, I guess I feel like what people understand as the metaverse or what people want the metaverse to be, it's what we have already today with the internet.
Okay, let's turn this into a takeaway session for the youth. What advice would you share with the youth that's looking to get into crypto or that's already in crypto right now?
So I will say, create first. If you want to learn more about crypto, the best thing you can do is start creating a presence on social media and start talking to people that are already there. Inform yourself with, the more you learn about it, the better. In different websites, or even talking via Twitter, DMs, etc. Start investing yourself in communities, in DAOs, and also start building your own projects and creating your stuff, and you'll slowly start growing if you want to, be part of this community.
Yeah, like we said before, everyone is like incredibly friendly and welcoming in crypto. You can,
Yeah.
if you have like I had like the dumbest questions ever when I got started, and just like ask them to like these really smart people, and they like took the time to actually answer my dumb questions instead of like doing whatever they actually had to do, and I really appreciate it. And I feel like everyone is kind of like that. Also, pro tips for social media: don't trust people that have their faces on their avatars. Trust people that have any anime profile pictures, and that shit post a lot.
And that I have
Um,
waifus.
yeah. Articles that are hosted on mirror.xyz are good. Articles that are hosted on medium.com are bad. And then finally, yeah, just like join a few communities, find a cool discords, engage with people, make friends, don't give your seed phrase to anyone, and have fun.